You hear me now, Ethel?
Not very well.
All right. How's that? All right. So before we get an approval to the agenda, I would like to amend the agenda to add action item number D, which would be to vote on the spirit sales for festival, and also to remove the presentation from Gyra tonight under presentations. So I need a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a second.
I will.
All right, any discussion
thank
about
you.
this?
Yeah, Chad, what was the first thing you added?
D, vote on spirit sales for festival. When we fill out the MLCC form, we have to have the yays and nays from our meeting.
Is that something that should be in the festival commission?
No, the CRC can do it. All right.
Okay.
All righty. With that, approval of the agenda as submitted and amended. All right, we're going to do this by roll call too. All in favor, Antosh. Brandon. Kevin Naso.
Here.
No, you want to say yay or nay to the motion?
Sorry. Yay.
All right.
Sorry.
Yay.
Kyle.
Yay.
Kearney.
Yay.
Myself, yay. David.
Aye.
All righty. Motion approved. I need the approval.
Oh,
Go ahead. I need the approval of the minutes from the February 4th, 2021 meeting.
I'll
Motion.
approve. Motion to approve.
And David, you second that? Any discussion about the minutes?
oh, I can't talk now. Thanks.
He's on the phone.
Any discussion about the
No.
minutes? All right.
Did he second that? I don't know if he was.
He did second it, I thought.
I did, Wendy, Kevin, Naso.
Oh, Kevin. Okay. Thanks.
Kyle? Yes? Kyle, you might want to take your microphone or unmute yourself.
Yay.
And I don't see Brandon on here. Is he on there? Friel, do you know what that number is down at the bottom? There's a phone number with the 216 area code.
That's me, Chad.
That's Kevin.
But then I see Naso up above that also.
Yeah, I saw it twice too.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what the Naso is over here, but that's
All right.
definitely Kevin on the phone.
All right, so.
Oh, I probably have my camera on too, but I'm not on it. So.
All right, so we approved the minutes. I'm trying to get a hold of Brandon here. I know he was waiting. Okay, and then we are going to get rid of the presentation by Gyra. Kim, we're going to do that at a later date, right?
That's correct. Next meeting.
My my chairperson's report. We will be doing a roll call voting from here on out while we're on the Zoom calls. Wendy, Kearney, and I were on a presentation that they did about the Open Meetings Act, and they would like us to do that. We're also, when we start a meeting, we will say our name and where our location is going forward. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. When we start the meeting, say your name, where you're at.
I'll go quickly. This is Kyle DeBose. I'm here on Grozeal.
I'm Chad Novak. I'm here on Grozeal. We got that all.
I'm Ethel Yops. I'm here on Groseal.
Dave Nadeau from
David.
Grozeal.
Wendy Kearney, Grozeal.
And I think Naso's broke up.
Kevin, Naso, Groseal.
All righty. Kim.
You
direct-
forget me?
Reedy
I'm
Kim.
driving.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Kim O'Farrell. I'm in a car driving to Flat Rock High School from
What?
Groseal.
I hope you're not driving, but
I'm not. Somebody else is driving.
hi, that's somebody else. There's Brandon. Brandon, can you hear me? All right. Kim, your director's report.
Yep, I'm going to keep it real brief because we've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Just, letting the residents know we are finalizing the profile magazine. We have a full lineup for the summer, all systems go. That's going to be we're looking at the first week of May for the profile with all the programs, day camp, swim lessons, golf course. Should be hitting the households the first week of May. If you're interested in a boat well, please give us a call. All the docks are built up. We are taking reservations right now. We have starting to fill up. So if you're looking for a boat well, give us a call. And that is really it, just getting ready for summer. So,
All right. Brandon, just real quick, so you know, from meetings going forward, at the beginning of the meeting, we're going to say our name and where our location is. And then every vote that we vote on, we're going to do a roll call vote. So it's easier for Madam Secretary.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All business, relocation of pavers at Water's Edge Marina for the West River Yacht Club and Cruising Club paver project. They gave us a presentation at the last meeting. They wanted to put the rocks, the paver stones, in front of the flagpole. I was down there and looked. It would look better if it went in front of Pier 1. Am I right, Kim? Is that Pier 1?
yeah, the first pier, there's some concerns. Chad and I spoke about this with trying to put these pavers in with transient dock, coming in. We would definitely like to see a layout on how these are going to be laid out. That's kind of a busy area right in front of that flagpole. So I'm going to reach out to them and try to get a diagram on how that's going to be installed. And I know, Chad, you and I were on the same page on that. But
Yes.
We definitely, we got the transients right in front of that flagpole. And if we've got pavers there, then it's going to conflict with people trying to get on and off their boats and stepping on the pavers. So we want to, research the project a little bit more and try to find a better location for this project. Because I do support the project. I think the commission feels, support as well, but we don't want to put these pavers down. They get damaged or ruined when that's a crosswalk. So
All righty.
I think we just need some further discussion on that before we vote on that.
Sounds good. Well, okay. New business. I have my notes because I had this up in my report. I'd like to go out to seek resignation from Karen Olinek. This is her 5th absent meeting. We wish Karen the best. I will talk to Margie about proceeding with that. Subcommittee reports. Township Board Liaison David Nadeau.
Thanks, Chad. Couple of things. One, I wanted to mention, and I know there was some back and forth or a suggestion that maybe we could change the time of tonight's meeting to make it early. As it turned out, airport had that hour scheduled. But just for future notice, once we have a meeting set, we can't change it within 18 hours of that meeting in order to give the proper notices of the meeting. So just so that everybody knows going forward, if we want to change something, they have to give at least 18 hours notice.
Okay.
The other thing, Kim, I was part of the budget presentations that everybody made. Kim presented her budget. She did a good job on putting that budget together, and it looks like, and it came in real good. Still gonna, I believe at the end of the year, we'll still have another year of success out of the rec department. And the other thing that I had Ian put together over the last, from 18 through 21 fiscal years ending March of those years, rec as a whole, rec generated a balance of just under $69,000. So the current year, the year that's ending this month, it was another good year for rec as far as staying within our, within our budget. It's probably the best year out of the last 4 or 5 years. So kudos to Kim for running that smoothly.
Thank you.
And I think, and we've got the budgets go before the board next Wednesday. So if there's any other changes, Kim,
Yep.
We'll get those in. But and that's all I had.
Thank you, David. Kyle, you got that little one sitting there with you for open space social media report?
I do, sorry, but it's open space, nothing to report because they haven't been meeting. They'll meet in April.
Okay.
So I will have a report there, and I don't have social media report yet because I'm not sure what my responsibility is there. I probably should check in with you or Kim about that.
We will get that to you. Thanks, Kyle. Coming up March 20th is our Easter egg event. That's right, Kim, right? The 20th?
Yep, from 10 to 11:30 in the morning.
What is it?
10 a.m. to 11:30. Pre-registration required. $5 for all kids. The Easter Bunny will be there for pictures. They get treat Easter egg hunt, socially distanced Easter egg hunt. I know it's going to be a little chilly, so wear your coats. And we just like to have pre-registration, so the event is run safely with social distancing, so we can have the groups stationed throughout the farm to get their Easter eggs.
Good. And that bunny's going to the dry cleaners, I hear. Okay.
Yes.
Also, I would like, we are moving forward as safe as we can, hopefully within 3 months as of today's date with Island Fest, which would be scheduled for June 4, 5, and 6. I'll have more updates. The website has been updated. The forms will go up this week. So we are hoping that within 3 months' time, we're allowed more than the hundreds of people, but you know, it's a go. Any questions, you guys can call or text me or whatever you need to do. That's it for the events. Mr. Antosh, got some numbers for us?
Hi there. I don't know how my connection is. I'm on the road, but on our $1.3 million budget, we're about 800,000 for the year to date. We're about $40,000 more in expenditures than revenues, but that'll be offset by when we receive the tax input. That counts as a revenue in the budget. Really light for the month to date so far. There was a capital reserve, which was a credit under the expenditures for about $10,000. So really, it's about $5,000 to be good for the month. So
good.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Brandon.
I just want to say that 10,000, Brandon, I know that was added.
Mhm.
We did get reimbursement from the AIG grant for the pool heater, 10,100 and some change. So that reimbursement check came in. So the revenues on the pool side now have exceeded the expenditures, which is a good thing. We were
That's
waiting on
great.
that check and we finally got that. So, so that's a good thing.
Very good.
Thank you. Kevin, what you got for Rec Land and Parks? I know we're going to be talking a little in a few minutes about some stuff over there.
Yeah, not much, Chad, but I was up at the airport or at the soccer, football, future baseball area yesterday, and things are looking good up there. The kids are getting ready to start the seasons here, come right after Easter, and you know, spring's right around the corner. So looking forward to all the activities that will be going on. So that's about it. We'll get into high gear here pretty soon. So
sounds good. We're excited that you guys, the kids, are out there doing what they do best, and a little bit of normalcy back there with the football, the soccer, and hopefully we'll see baseball going somewhere down there. Centennial Farm, Kim, is there anything you want to say about that, or because we're going to talk about the fence in a minute? Unmute, Kim. Unmute. There you go.
Sorry about that. We just pulled up to the school. I'll save that for the action items. That's the main attraction for tonight.
All right, Ethel, you are up with senior communications.
There's not much to communicate this time. Anyway, the van transportation for seniors and those who are unable to drive, dollars off the island, plus the bridge toll fee. You call 734-216-4905 for reservations at least 24 hours prior to and 2 to 4 days before is preferred. Senior club and meetings remain on hold. Meals on Wheels are delivered on Monday mornings. And daylight savings time begins March the 14th. Be sure and set your clocks ahead. And for other information, I'm still writing the Recreation Roundup column for the Island Beacon. And that comes out the first week of the month for Recreation Department programs and events. And it's available at many locations, including Kroger's and CVS. And the programs are also can be seen on the Grosse-Ile TV channels, Comcast 12, WOW Channel 10, and AT&T Channel 19. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethel. Wendy, how you doing? Some school updates out there?
Sure. Yep. March kicked off National Reading Month, especially for the elementary schools. So we started off with a virtual assembly on Monday with Maria Desamonte, who is a Michigan children's author. So she gave a presentation and assembly for both of the schools on Monday. And then I don't know if anybody's seen the different signs down Macomb, but Michelle Behringer, who's one of our teachers at Meridian, does a storybook walk down Macomb. So with the weather breaking and stuff, it's kind of nice to get out as we move forward to check that out. But there's different stations throughout the street, and you just go by and you read it and kind of make your way down the street. So that this month was sponsored by Grapevine Realty. And then something new that they're doing is a community scavenger hunt. And what she does is she goes around and she takes pictures at different locations, kind of like not, full on pictures, like you have to guess where she's at. And then she has clues that she gives out to the kids on a weekly basis through their weekly newsletter. And then there's a book as well as prizes that were donated by the police department and the fire department. And you kind of figure out where she's at. And then if you go there and you're the first one there, you actually get the prize. So we actually have one that was at West Croft, thanks to Kyle and Erica. So she started that and the kids are really excited about that. And then you do the QR code. So then they know, obviously that was found. And then this is the last week for Kids Heart Challenge. The two schools are raising money for that charity. And I don't have the numbers for Park Lane, but Meridian's goal was $10,000 and they've exceeded that. They're at almost $12,000. So they're doing very, very, very well. Parent teacher conferences are coming up for both the elementary schools next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. High school is on Thursday, March 11th. They're all virtual, of course. And then spring break is right around the corner down at the end of the month. A couple more things really quickly. A committee was formed to focus on getting the middle school and the high school returning face-to-face. So I believe they started meeting, I think it was this week, they started meeting to try to figure out what needs to happen for the kids to go back face-to-face. And then some other news that came out was the superintendent's going to be retiring in June. So we'll be getting a new superintendent. And I think that's all I have.
So March is reading month, right?
Yep.
And March is, I love that whole scavenger hunt. I was aware of that a couple of weeks ago. You told me. Thank you so much for that. We love working with our schools and everything they do for us.
Well, and what's really nice too is the DDA has started to work with them too. So all these businesses are taking a vested interest in this. I mean, not that they didn't already, but there's more of a connection, which I think is great. So
thanks
and I know the schools appreciate it. So
good. All right, we're going to move on to action item A, vote and approve to seek RFP for Centennial Farm fence. Kim emailed out the quote on that. Kim, if you just want to give a update about that.
Yep. I'm all of you received the quote from Wind River Fence. I've been working with them for 2 years. All of you got the diagram of the fencing. All of you got the pricing. Again, that's one quote. With this being a $50,000 cap, it does have to go out for an RFP. But I figured work with the company, get an idea what we're looking at. We're going to have to section this out. We can't do all the fences at once. So I am looking for approval to go out for RFP, not to exceed $50,000 to repair sections B, C, and D. Those are the main fences. You can see the diagram. Those are the main fences where the horses are. And then we will work our way around to replace all of them. I'm working on safety fences first. And I know we have perimeter fences, but we need to focus on the safety of the horses first. And then we will work on aesthetics second. So I am asking the commission to approve to go out for RFP not to exceed $50,000.
I'll put a motion out there. I need a second for that.
Seconded.
Any more discussion about this?
Question, Kim.
Yes.
What was the additional amount to do section A?
It was, and I think we do have enough for A. A was estimated at $4,050. So, and that's the tear out and the install. That's the sheet right here.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't. I didn't write down A.
Yeah, that's right.
What would that bring the total to?
According to this
With
particular quote, was $49,416. That is tear out and replace. And again, we're going with a 3-tier fence.
Right.
You all have the packet. This is, all of you have that. But again, we have to do an RFP. That's an official document. It needs to be drafted by the engineer and needs to be submitted, advertised for, and we will open the bids as we do with all of our big projects. But this is a good starting point. Obviously, Wind River Fence, I will email them that RFP that's drafted by our engineer. And everybody, there's a million fence companies, so we gotta go out for RFP. So that's the plan.
I have a question. Are these numbers, are they available for the other fencing companies to see, these quotes?
Which numbers?
I'm looking at the 49,416. So if we get 1 or 2 more bids, do they have access to what we've been quoted from this one company?
It's public records, so yes.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right. Any more discussion about this? We will do a roll call vote on this. Brandon Antosh.
Yay.
Kevin Naso.
Yay.
Ethel Yops.
Yay.
Kyle DeBose.
Yay.
Wendy Kearney.
Yay.
David Nadeau.
Aye.
Chad Novak. Yes. Yay. All right.
Thank you.
Moved. B, vote and approve to purchase utility vehicle for Centennial Farm. Tim, you want to give a brief? I see that right here too.
And again, these items that we are voting upon are in the 2021-22 budget for Centennial Farm. We have the funds for these projects and they are budgeted for 21. The vehicle I'm talking about is a John Deere utility vehicle. In order to keep the grounds, the one problem that we have with such a big area at the farm, we can't get utility vehicles back to repair fences, pick up sticks. And now with COVID and more residents using the outdoors, this vehicle can get around the grounds. We can't get trucks back in those areas when trees falls. Gene has a very hard time maneuvering through the property without this particular vehicle. I think it's very important to keep the grounds pristine at the farm. So that's why I'm looking to purchase this so he can do his job.
Oh, one thing.
Yes.
For $100 more, we can go with 2021. You and I can talk about that later.
That's correct. I'm looking to get approval not to exceed $8,000. Put that in the notes, please.
Yep.
You got that?
Yep.
So a motion to vote for the expenditure not to exceed $8,000 for a new Gator the model numbers on there for Centennial Farms. Can I get a second?
Support.
Second.
All right. Any more discussion about this? Roll call vote.
Wait,
Brandon Antosh.
Wait, Chad, wait.
Yep.
Quick question on that.
Yep.
It's if $8,000 we need. This says the action item is to vote and approve the purchase.
Yes.
We're approving going out and gathering the estimates.
Yes, I will present 3 estimates to the
Right,
commission.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Brandon.
Yay.
Kevin.
Yay.
Ethel.
Yay.
Kyle.
Yay.
Wendy.
Yes.
David.
Aye.
Aye for myself. Unanimous. All right. Thank you. Action item C, vote and approve to seek RFPs for Smokies. Again, I know that we've been around and around with this. We did vote on it back in October. There's been a change in board members, and they would just like us to go for it again. So vote and approve to seek RFP for Smokies, which is the property at West. I don't have the address, Kim. So, y'all know about the RFP. Kim, you want to comment on the lease right now?
Sure. And David was part of all of, David, Chad, and I, basically where we stand with Smokies. We were in negotiations November, December, January, trying to get that lease signed. We were struggling with that lease being signed. We did have meetings with them. A deadline was given to Smokies to have signature by February 5th. They did not meet that deadline. The lease has been signed by them, and it was turned in last Thursday at 3:00. So the reason that I am asking this commission again, I know that you guys had a discussion back in October, and we all agreed to go out for RFP, and the township board did not feel that was a good thing to do at that time. But the discussions that I've had with Smokies, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, we would like to make sure that building is filled for sure. There's been some hesitation from both of the owners, Tom and Scott. They are very nervous that they may not have cooks. They may not have enough staff. That was verbally told to me, and it was also in an email to David. And that is our concern. We need to make sure that there is somebody in that building come this summer. So I would like to move forward and present the RFP for other companies to put in a bid for the restaurant. So that's where we're at right now. David, if you have anything else.
Yeah, my understanding, as of today, the lease has been fully signed by both parties. Township signed it.
The township did sign it?
As far as I know, yeah, it was signed, I think the day after they turned it in is my recollection, or my understanding.
I was not told that.
Okay. I'll confirm that tomorrow, but my understanding is it was signed, so we're in place right now. But they've alluded this.
Who signed it?
I believe Mr. Budney signed it.
Okay, I was not aware of that.
That's my understanding. I'll verify that.
Okay.
But as Kim alluded to, they have made, Smokies has alluded to the fact that, well, they signed it and they're willing to go this year. It had, they were hesitating when it came to, if they can't find cooks, but if in fact we come to April and they walk on the lease, and we're kind of covered because within that lease was personal guarantees for whatever they owe for that contract. But if we wait until April by the time the RFPs go out, you're May. By the time you get the answers back or responses to the RFPs, build out time, et cetera, you could be September before there's somebody new in there, and you'd be going through the summer with no restaurant. That likelihood exists, I believe. So I support what going out for. It doesn't hurt to go out for the RFPs, and I think, you know, within there be full disclosure. But
all right, well, let's put it to a vote if you're all on board
Okay.
with that. All right, so a motion to who put the motion out there? Someone?
I'll make the motion that.
I'll second, Chad.
And Kevin second. Any more discussion about this? All right, Brandon?
Yay.
Naso?
Yay is if we're actually going to do it. We talk about this all the time. As long as we're going to do it.
Ethel?
Abstain.
Kyle?
Yay.
Kearney?
Yay.
David?
Aye.
And I. You got that, Wendy?
Yep.
Ethel's saying for it. All right. The next one is to vote for the spirit sales at Island Fest for June 4, 5, 6, 2021. It's just part of the filling out the liquor forms that I've done every year for the past umpteen years. There's one section that asks how many yays and nays. This is for the Buddha Bar. This is not for the beer area. That's the VFW or whoever runs that. So this is just for our commission. I will put a motion to vote for the spirit sales for Festival June 4, 5, 6. I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Antosh?
Yay.
Naso?
Yeah.
Miss Ethel?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yay.
Kearney?
Yes.
David?
Aye.
Chad? Aye. All right, so moved. Discussion items. Thank you guys for doing that too. Recreation Department Master Plan. Kim?
Yep. Just an update on the master plan. It is extended through the calendar year 21. We actually have about 210 surveys that are filled out. If you're looking to fill out the survey, it is on our Facebook page and it is now on the website. And I also be loading that to the Connect app. I'm also in the process of developing a second survey, which will be COVID related questions that deal with recreation. I have talked to several recreation directors, not only from Michigan, but from Ohio. And I would like to put out a second survey for our community. So I'm very glad that we are extending that throughout this year to get the community input. Again, the master plan is a plan for the future. It's what the community is looking for, not what we're looking for. So we need that input. And then I have 2 dates there in the summer. And this is for the community involvement. The first one is the June 29th. That is a focus group for our senior citizens, and that will coincide with their senior luncheon. And then the other date will be July 27th. That is a open house to the community that will be at the farm. These are both at the farm where people can participate, come talk to the rec commission, come talk to myself, we've only had one, which was back in September. Chad, I know there was a bunch of us there and we had about 20 people and there was some very good input during that. But we need to get the community involved because that's the future of recreation on the island. So that's where we are at with the master
We got a
plan.
nice response from the questionnaire though that you sent out. I mean, there was what, 60, 70 responses to that we were.
What, the
Yeah,
online
yes.
survey? We're at
My
208
goodness.
right now.
Yeah, so if you haven't done
as
game
of today.
but
Yeah.
the survey.
And
Go ahead.
then, yeah, the survey and for our senior citizens that are not tech savvy, we are putting together a typed version of this for our senior citizens because they don't go on the Facebook, they don't go on the social media. Ethel, I know Annette gave you a copy of that this afternoon, and we're going to get that printed and making sure our senior citizens have vital input on this as well. So we're getting that out to the seniors.
Which leads us, yeah.
That's
grant project submittals. Submittal, yeah.
I think that may have already been covered. Kim, there was a grant application due March 19th. And
there's one more.
There's another one?
Yes.
Okay, that was just on there just to make sure that we get that in so that we don't miss out on anything that we might possibly have.
David, you kind of touched on the 2021, 2022 budget already.
I did.
Kim, is there anything?
Yeah.
Yes, there's more to this. If I can talk to the commission a little bit about the grant project that I'm looking at.
Yep.
The way the Wayne County grant works, every year we have to submit for $20,000 for our senior services, which that was done 2 weeks ago. That is correct, David. That has been submitted. And that the 20,000 is done. That is in the system. And we are also possibly eligible for a bigger project that I'm looking to do, and I have to submit that by the 19th. So the project is very specific to what Wayne County is looking for. It also follows HUD policies. And the project that I'm going to submit for with the commission's input is to put the bathhouse at Water's Edge swimming pool up to ADA compliance. We are not ADA compliance in the bathhouse. I talked to Terry Carroll, the head honcho at Wayne County today. He believes that is a fantastic project. It falls into all the grant guidelines, and that would be a very nice thing to do for our bathhouse because it needs a little love and update. So with the commission's approval, I would like to go ahead and move forward with that. I'm going to submit for that. It's all on BidNet. I have to do it all online. I already reached out to the engineer to get a possible quote. The deadline for that is the 19th of March. Does the commission have any problems with me submitting that to Wayne County?
No, I'll give you the stamp if you need it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure the commission's in the loop with what I would like to do and again, we may or may not get approved for that project this year. It may be next year. It may be the following year, but we have to put in for a big project. And again, the dollar amount has not been specified, but they are saying it's usually 3 years of what you normally get. I normally get 20,000. So we're looking at 60 to maybe 80,000 tops. And to convert that bathhouse falls within that range just from my past experience with conversions and ADA compliance. So we can't go too big, but we don't want to go too small. So that's why I thought this would be a pretty good project. So done with that one. Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Budget C 2021, 2022.
I think we've pretty much covered the budget. So, it's in, it's submitted. Unless anybody had any comments on the budget that was presented.
Any questions about the budget, guys? Are we good? Okay, that's going to take us to D, airport land leases, where the football practice field is, the soccer field, and possibly the baseball field. David, I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay. I don't understand, quite frankly, why we're not charging anything for the lease of that land. And that's my question. And I really think that needs to be discussed.
Any comments from the commission?
Yeah, this is Kevin, David. So I'm not sure how far it dates back, but I can attest that I ran soccer for roughly 8 years, and of 6 of those 8 years, the Soccer Association has paid for all the maintenance and upkeep of the property. So if we're looking to discuss making football and soccer and potentially baseball pay land leases to use the property, does that mean the township's going to start taking care of the property, i.e. cutting the maintenance and all that?
Not necessarily.
So we want to charge the youth recreation sports of Grosse Ile monetary money to release the land, and on top of it pay to maintain it?
From a rec department point of view, we've got an asset, it's land. Somebody wants the land, we'll lease it to them for $1 amount. I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't do that. From generating revenue to run the rec department. And that's my question.
Well, do you know what other communities do, David?
Not worried about other communities.
Well, I think that I am.
My understanding on soccer is that, 2/3 of the kids that are playing soccer are from off island anyway. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'll disagree with that just from past experience. If we had 400 people, maybe in the travel program we have, but in the rec program that facilitates through the island, I would say that probably 95% of those kids that play youth soccer and what we call junior chaos are Grosse Ile residents.
Yep.
Or recreation program, sorry. Now the travel program, it's probably a 60-40 split, with 60% being Grosse Ile residents and 40% being off island, but that's a travel program. But the rec program that's run through the island is predominantly Grosse Ile residents.
Well, okay. It's not run through the island. It's not run through, you call it a rec program. My goal is to look out for the commission and the rec department. And I'm looking at ways that we can generate money to help Kim run that department. It's a pure land lease. We own land, they want to use it, we charge them. So
if the soccer and football decide that they don't want to lease it from the township, then what happens? And baseball as well, because I don't believe anybody's really paying any monetary fees.
No,
and they haven't paid for years to do that. And if all of a sudden we start charging what I'm going to call a Grosse Ile program, which is known as JIRA, which is known as GISA, monetary dollar amounts, and as well as having to maintain the properties. And soccer, football is only a seasonal sport, right? It's only in the fall, but they still maintain the properties, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, all year round?
All year round, that is correct.
And soccer maintains them all year round, upwards of close to $6,000 to $7,000 a year out of their own budget. That's adding extra fees to the program, and it only increases the cost that they have to charge the residents of the island to do it. So I'm a little bit hesitant on that. I'm just one person expressing my feelings, but and I can't speak for the folks who help run the program, but I'm not sure it could happen from being able to pay extra money.
I'll speak. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to speak briefly on this. I wasn't around for any agreements with GISA or football, but having been through some of the negotiations with baseball, we're already asking of baseball that they fund themselves the creation of those fields. That to me is a huge investment on its own. My concern more than trying to charge some kind of cost for the land, if that would even happen, I think most likely the programs would say, okay, we won't do it or something like that, is actually creating a better space in that area, more organized, better parking, better facilities. That I think would be a better, I don't know, that to me is my worry about that area.
Okay. If the commission thinks that it's not worth it, that there's more harm than good that's going to come out of it, that's fine. I just put it on here because I think I'd be remiss in not looking for revenue opportunities for the rec department. And there you've got basically 3 parcels of land that are leased out with no return to the rec department. It's like having an apartment building and giving away the apartments for free.
But wouldn't part of the return of the property, and again, maybe I'm speaking out of tune here, but we're saving the township close to $7,000 just from a soccer standpoint of cutting the grass and maintaining the fields. I mean, that's a big investment that the township doesn't have to incur anymore. Now, granted, it's not the whole area, but it's the area that's used by the playing area. So, you know, again, I'm just
and Kevin also
talking.
Kevin, that is correct. The expense to mow that and maintain those areas is you're very close in that dollar amount. So you know that's to take into consideration. And also, when Gyra and Gisa started, again, I wasn't here. I know it's been years and years and years. The rec department was not able to host the soccer, the football, and the baseball. That's why Gyra and Gisa formed through volunteers on the island. That they were all volunteers to begin with, if I'm not mistaken, going back to the history. And we've come a long way. And again, it does, whether I'm trying to just say they are maintaining the land, you know, and that is a big expense. It's a lot of grass out there. And I am for the kids playing sports. David, I see your point, but in return, yeah, I just wanted to say my opinion as well, that I support all the Gyra and Gisa and the volunteers that do what they do. But I understand your point. I would prefer as the director to find revenue streams somewhere else. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Like I say,
That's
I got
all.
nothing against kids. I got nothing against sports.
Right.
My kids played Gyra when they had the Peanut Bowl, and it was way back.
And these are our kids. These are residents, and these are the future of the island. And I just want to be very supportive to all those kids.
I have nothing against any of those things. Kids, volunteers, sports. I'm trying to make sure that we've covered all the bases we can to try to raise revenue for the rec department, so that we can assist and make sure that you have the wherewithal to have the programs that you want to have. And if the commission feels otherwise, that's fine. But it had to be discussed, at least from my standpoint.
Sure.
Thank you, David. And I understand what you're saying too.
Yep.
But I feel the same that Kim and Kevin do, that sometimes, I mean, there's families that I know it costs a fortune for those kids that are in sports, multiple sports. And if I would rather charge 25 cents extra for something else than to have to go out and go to Giza and Gyra. And, you know, the baseball, I know they're going to be doing fundraisers because they want to see some awesome opportunity down there at those fields. So, but thank you for bringing that up. And any comment about this? Anybody else? Kyle?
This is Brandon. And my thought is that, you know, any monetary amount that we charge would end up being a pass through to the individual users on the sports teams. And my thought is that, yeah, I really disagree with charging for that. And I'm sure there's other revenue streams that we can pursue, but I would also like to add that, unless if there's competing parties for the use of the land during this specific time, I don't think there's any reason to charge rent.
Thanks, Brandon.
Okay.
Plus, I think that would drive a big wedge between rec and all of those organizations,
Yeah.
See what happened. We talked about knocking the sled hill down.
All I'm looking for is money for Kim.
Right.
I just quickly, first, David, thank you. We always need fresh eyes from you, community, whatever. So I'm grateful for different ways to look at things. One important note is Giza Grosse Ile Soccer Association brings in a lot of revenue through Island Fest. They often will schedule their tournaments right at that time. So I know in that sense, that's always really helped a lot. But more importantly, I know the Airport Commission and how they kind of operate with the land just south of us there. They think similarly to what you're saying, David. And we, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we lease the land from the airport, right there. The issue is we can see what the demand for the land is from the airport. Like there's a lot of empty space there. So my goal, or I would hope that the community would want for there to be a build up there. And at some point, if we are able to build like a really nice recreation park or whatever we want to call it there, and we have the value and we've added the value where we could charge something like that, I think it would be good. But right now, that's not what's happened. Giza's come in, they've built their own thing. Football's come in, built their own thing. They've invested a lot in those pieces of land. Baseball's set to do the same thing. So it would be kind of a change of contract with them. And I'm grateful for what they've done and hopefully we'll build moving forward.
Thanks, Kyle. So, okay, let's move on to E.
Yeah, we can move on.
All right, the ice rink hockey update. I'm pretty sure, Kim, that they had come back that they would like to start with July as the lease date.
Yeah, July or when they're ready.
Okay.
So there was, and I think the commission, you guys are all aware that we had some meetings with the Hockey Association, and they were very interested in leasing the rink for 12 months.
We already approved the lease.
Yes, correct. So they are still trying to gather some funding and some sponsorship. The last communication I had with them via email, they are looking to secure some funds and begin in July. So I will brief you as we go through the process.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. The next is the CRC Commission numbers of members and reports. I guess my concern is, I know some people want to downsize the commission. I've always been worried about the availability. If one or two of you aren't here, we can't do a majority. It's got to be the quorum or the majority of the quorum, right, David?
Well, right now there's, depending how you.
And if we lose Karen,
to be honest, I'm not even sure how many people we actually have on the commission right now.
Well, I can tell you right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you would be 7 voting. Karen, this is her 5th meeting, so I think we're gonna, I know where to take that.
Yeah.
So that means we've lost 3 people in the past 4 months.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm 6. Is that right? 1.
David,
2,
it's at the top of the agenda.
Yes.
5.
That makes you make
so there's
6.
5 plus me is 6.
Yeah.
So we have at least 1 opening. And I think actually we have 3 openings.
Let me read section 67-45 membership first commission. 9 individuals who are appointed by the board serve as the commissioners, legal resident for 30 days, and then 1 township board member, which would be you, who can vote, and then the rec director, who is a non-voting member, is Kim. So on this paper in front of me, it's saying we're supposed to have 9. I mean, I just,
I don't know about you, Chair. I think 9's too many, to be honest.
Yeah, I know how you feel, but I'm just, what would you be comfortable with then? 1 more or what?
I think if we have a total of 7, I think for what our charge is, and
7 commissioners, including you, or 7
yeah,
commissioners?
no, 7 including me.
Any discussion from you guys about this? I mean, I'll look into
So-
it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's 7 right now, right? If I'm looking at who's on the call right now, you have 6 plus David. That's 7, right?
But Kim doesn't vote.
I don't vote.
Well, no, so I see
It's-
your understanding in the guidelines, there's 9, but you've got Chad, Ethel, Wendy, Kyle, Brandon, me, and David. That's 7, or are you talking one more?
No, that's it. That's if Karen.
That's it.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that Olinek will be gone.
Right. So 7. Do we bring on one more? I mean, or do we keep it an odd number? Or
I mean, odd numbers are easier.
yes. So what do you guys think? Should we bring on one more, 2 more, or keep it the way it is?
Chad,
Yes, ma'am.
according to your subcommittees right now, you've got 8. So where are you counting 7?
Karen will be stepping down.
Oh, and you don't want to fill that position?
I do.
Wow, that makes 8 then.
At
Right.
least
Kim
For
doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and David makes 7. Kim would make 8, but Kim is non-voting. So
Keep me out.
I'm looking
yeah.
at the I'm looking at the subcommittee updates where you have them on your agenda. You have 8 people there.
right, but Karen didn't do a report tonight. So, but I'm looking at the actual township, the ordinance or whatever this is called right here, and it
The
does.
ordinance is 9.
The ordinance is 9.
Yeah, the ordinance is 9. So do we have to rewrite that ordinance and get that pushed through? If
Well, I think, yeah, we need to take it to the board and recommend a change in that ordinance to whatever number we agree on.
Are we good with 7?
This is Kyle. I prefer 9 personally. I know, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot that we have to cover. I know even me, I'm doing 2 meetings a month, one here, open space, and I know we can easily do that for a couple others. So I like more people personally.
I like more people myself too. Go ahead.
I mean, I do too, and I guess we're all volunteers, so it's not like a budget issue. I mean, if we're all volunteering our time,
Good point.
you know.
Very good point, Wendy.
Okay.
Brandon. Kevin.
Brandon?
I agree with Wendy. I'm in favor of the 9.
Brandon.
I don't have an opinion, honestly. Whatever you guys want. Whatever you guys want.
All right. Ethel, how do you feel about 9 or 7?
At least 8. If not 8, then 9.
All right. Well, it looks like everybody's kind of going towards the 9 number, which means we would have to form a little 4-person committee for interviews, which we can discuss. Not tonight, but David, it looks like majority. I don't know. How do we go about it?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right. All right. Any comments about the reports, David?
No, I just want to make sure that we don't lose sight of our primary goal and get wrapped up in things that are non-recreation.
Right.
I mean, that's my only comment. I mean, I don't know what Kyle's going to report on social media. If we do social media things, that comes out of Kim's office. I just don't want us to lose sight of the recreation charge that we have.
And I would like to say that, we deal with everything from the little tiny kids, to my eyes, to the senior citizens. recreation has a broad spectrum. I've always said when someone comes to a community, it's about safety, schools, and then third is schools, safety, and then third would be what does your community offer for me and my family that would draw us to be residents and be happy? And that's where recreation comes in. So I think any kind of updates, I think that schools, any kind of events, finance, all that from what we're doing, we've already kind of narrowed down our reporting, and we can go in and reevaluate that, David, and see what might fit.
I just want to make sure that we're giving Kim the support she needs.
Absolutely.
To run the department that she's charged with running.
Absolutely. Kim, we got you, girl, 110%.
I know you guys have all been there.
Yeah.
I am fine with the direction that my chairman and my liaison go with, whether it's 7 or 9. That I will leave that up to the commission. I can work with either number. I just want to state, if I ever needed anything from our commission, I've reached out to them, David, and they have been there for me. Without a doubt, they have been at every event. They have set up tables. They have volunteered their time for a lot of things maybe you weren't able to be part of, as you are a new liaison to us. So I thank our commission for what they do and how they do help out with all this.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to rewrite.
No. I just like to thank my commissioners for volunteering.
I want to make sure, for my own benefit, because I still have to answer to the other 6 guys on the board.
Absolutely.
And I want to be able to say that I've pursued, things that I thought should be pursued. And I'm not, the commission wants to keep it at 9:15. I don't,
No 15.
No 15. No 15.
No, that's too many people.
Tell those 6 to come down to that Easter egg hunt with their grandkids or their kids. Tell those other 6 that they need to come down and support some of our events and stuff.
Yeah.
We want to see you walking in that parade on Saturday, June 5th, David.
And I think what would be a great next step for this commission is, again, reassigning each commissioner maybe a different area. I know, David, you and I have talked about maybe having a little bit on the golf course, a little bit more involvement with the marina, and we can restructure our commission anyway. Yeah.
Now, a lot of that you cover in your report.
Yeah.
But I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but
Okay.
I that's all I had. I just want to make sure that we've at least thought about it, discussed it. Whichever way the commission wants to go on that, it's fine with me. I'll support whatever the commission wants to do. I just don't want to let anything slip through the cracks. And I guess with the additional people going back to the full complement that's in there. The thing that you and I have talked about, Chad, with regard to the festival, that if that does in fact flow over, we'll have the people power to make sure that gets taken care of too.
Everything's on board so far and going
Okay.
good. All right. I just want to say real quick about a future study session that I found real interesting. Wendy and I were invited to attend the Open Meeting Act that Brian Friel ran. Thank you, Brian. And the township. It was very well attended. I learned a lot of things. The attorney was there, Mr. Sorty. We want to thank him for all he did. So like I said, going forward, we will do a roll call for votes. We will say our name and location at the beginning of each meeting. And then a future study session, maybe outside of the farm when the weather breaks. Leading to that, Friel, do we have any public comment out there?
You do not.
We do not. Oh man.
Chad, one thing. I'll make a public comment just if there's one. that study session, we call it a study session on here. We can call it a training session and we don't have to worry about it being a meeting. It'll just be a training session for members of the commission.
Okay, cool. So, all right. And no public comment. All right, Brandon Antosh, got anything you want to say?
Nothing. Good to see everyone again.
Thank you. Kevin Naso.
No, Chad, I'm good.
Ethel.
Our next meeting is April the 1st. That's April Fool's Day.
I know.
We may reschedule that meeting. I'm having reservations about that date.
Right. So I just want to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day.
And we can't wait to start those luncheons during the summer months too.
That'll be wonderful.
Is Martha sitting there next to you? Or
she's here.
Hi, Martha.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Kyle, do you have anything?
I wanted to thank David for some of his new energy and new thinking. I hear what you were saying about, focus. And I will say, even myself as a commissioner, rec does so much. It is sometimes hard to keep focus. So I think thinking about how we can refocus could be a good thing. So I'm grateful you brought that up. And from my experience, from what I've learned being on rec for a little bit is, first, Chad does an excellent job of, I think, being focused on rec and fun and kind of tying everything together. So I definitely like following Chad's lead. But what I've felt Kim has done really well is formalize a lot of some of the informal agreements that have kind of come up over time. Because I don't know if a lot of people realize, but my understanding of the history of rec is it really was mostly volunteer for a long time and has slowly gotten more formalized over time. So that's kind of where we are, and trying to formalize those things and also keep focused on being a place where people come together and have fun. That ideally should be what rec is about. And I know sometimes it's been hard to get there. So hopefully we can all work towards that.
Thank you. That's perfect. Your check is in the mail. Wendy, you have something you want to say?
No, and I just like the fact that rec's involved with so many different groups, like you said, from littles to our seniors and the schools and the DDA. I mean, everybody. And I think that's what makes Groseal, Groseal, and that's what brings a lot of us that grew up here back. So I think it's just an important piece that we offer.
Yeah, a wise secretary told me those words today, so thank you. David.
My only comment, my last comment, at our first meeting in April, I believe we have to re-elect Chad as chairman. Elect somebody as chairman.
Chad.
And I believe that should be on the agenda for the first meeting in April.
Yes.
Which would be April 1st.
Oh, no.
Can everybody make?
I would
everybody make it.
Have me, so. Yeah, I know Margie gets that all together. David, when is the meeting in April? The annual township meeting.
First, second, third, fourth. It'll be the 12th and the 26th.
Of April?
Uh-huh.
There's two meetings? Two a month. No, I meant the meeting where all of us were supposed to come and.
Oh, for the budget?
Yes.
No. Oh, the budget meeting is next Wednesday, the 10th.
Oh. All right, I won't be here. So on that note, no public comment in the business issues. I would like to say I am leaving Tuesday for South Florida. I'll be gone for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. But y'all got my emails and everything, so I will be posting pictures. And the next meeting is scheduled for April 1st of 2021. I know a couple of you are sitting in parking lots, so I'd like to adjourn this meeting at 7:30. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Commission. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.